Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 27. I am one of your hosts, as always, Will Hernandez, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Lee J. Perilla with his leaky ceiling in his apartment. Sir, what's going on? What the hell's going on over there?
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Oh my god.
I don't know. He just got home. So, like I told you, hopefully, that's why I said as early as possible. So that way, if something does happen, we're
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
We're pretty much
yeah,
done. I don't have to say,
yeah.
yo, do it solo. I don't really feel like putting that on you again. Or, yeah, I didn't want to do that. So I said, you know what? Let me ask him how early he could jump on. If he could say right now, I'm about to swallow this food and jump
that's
on, which is essentially what I did.
that's what
Because
you
I,
should
get-
have said.
I just got home not too long ago. It took me damn near over 2 hours because somebody decided to pull the fucking
Ay,
brakes on the
ay, ay.
train.
You know what's been good about this month that I don't have to go into the office after we had our Christmas party, and I don't envy anybody who has to travel in within the five boroughs because it fucking sucks. So, uh, yeah, going back to what Lee J said. So let's get some housekeeping stuff out of the way quickly because this is going to be a shorter episode, only because we're recording today on a Thursday. So you'll hear this on Friday, and then we're going to record again on Sunday. But I'm going to hold that episode for until after Christmas, until that Thursday. So, but we have some topics that we have saved for Sunday for Sunday's recording. So, and then for New Year's Eve, that'll be the clip show on New Year's Eve. That'll be the last episode of the year. So look out for that. I'm a little off right now because we're starting early. But um once again, this is a weekly
His biological clock is off.
yeah, dude. Let me tell you something. I'm actually glad we're recording today and we pushed back a few days to record because work has just been my job I think is slowly killing me, but that's another, discussion for another time.
See
But
ya.
let's just hope that these fucking aliens just come and take us away at some point. But yes, this is a weekly sports podcast that we come at you each and every week on the podcast platform of your choice. And we are all over the place on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube, even though I didn't upload the last video, but that's another story. Um, yeah, I just want to shout out some folks, not folks, but we surpassed 600 downloads this week, which is great. We hit that milestone before our 6 month anniversary. So, it's good to see that we're averaging basically about 100 downloads a month. And hopefully, as time goes on, that we'll be able to increase that before we hit the year anniversary. And I'm going to shout out our people who knows if they're even going to be downloading this particular episode. But let's see, because, we're international. So let's see, the last episode we had people from Germany, Sweden, Ireland, and Taiwan. So I don't know what Leachy's doing in Taiwan. If he has friends over there or something. Oh, Caesar. We know Caesar likes to go to Taiwan.
He be liking those Asians.
I was gonna go another route with that, but we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it at that. This is a family show, possibly. Um, there was one thing I want to talk about though before we jump in. It's just about these fucking drones. Because if you're in the Northeast, this has been all the fucking rage the past like couple of weeks. You've seen them now. I've seen them now. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on, which I don't really understand, like what is happening. I also saw a joke today, and you've probably seen this as well, that the reason why you haven't seen any Jones over MetLife Stadium is because there's no intelligence there. So, so
By the way,
you,
if you
yes,
haven't noticed, I'm working on some kind of background going on. I'm a little,
okay.
Don't get fooled. Those aren't my books.
I was about to say you got a Wicked, and I see Harry Potter. There's something very wrong with that background. Then
I don't read. I can read. That's different. I don't read. Totally different things. Okay, but I will be adding to that bookshelf in the
yes.
coming weeks.
So I mean, what you have to do is you got to get like a. I got to show you like my setup because we got to get a situation where people can see
No,
your
the bookshelf is gonna have to stay like that. There's a way,
a
and I'm
desk. You got
getting
to get
and I'm
like
getting
a
a new
desk.
desk. I'm getting
Yeah,
a new desk, which is gonna
that's
help, and I'm getting a new chair, which is gonna
that's what
help.
it. Yeah, that's exactly what it comes down to. It's
Um,
it's it's the desk and a chair.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a matter of I th- there was a deal on Amazon. Actually, it wasn't a combo deal, but they were both
Yes.
on sale. So the chair, which is actually literally gaming chair,
Yeah. I suggested
and
gaming
and
chairs.
the
Yeah.
desk, which I like the way it was shaped.
Yeah.
So both will come out to 150,
Got it.
which is actually
Uh,
pretty good because the gaming chairs I've been looking at are that's 150 itself.
they're really expensive, but
Right.
I will say this. One thing I did learn during the pandemic when I was doing a lot of research on like office chairs because everybody was working from home. A lot of people suggest to get a gaming chair because they're comfortable and they're meant to be sitting
Yeah, I've sat in
for
one
a
before, and
long
the way it's
time.
shaped is kind of like it's
Yeah,
almost like a bucket seat to
yeah,
where
exactly.
and
Yeah,
the cushioning is comfortable, the arms,
yes, yep,
and you can wheel around in it. Not that
yeah,
I'm gonna be
exactly.
wheeling around too much in this room because there's carpet, but
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah,
be a lot more. And I'm just gonna get rid of this just regular desk table that I have here. Just get rid of that.
yeah. I actually need to get a new gaming chair because this chair that I use now it fucking sucks.
And I want to
Uh
take a look in that local store by me that sells like old collectibles, like little, I don't
oh
know,
yeah, you haven't done that yet.
figures and stuff like that. Yeah, I want to take a
Yeah.
look in there and see what he's selling. Yeah, that's it.
So it's funny. We were gonna have a completely different format to this show before we hopped on here, but then we decided basically 5 minutes ago that we were gonna split things up. But that being said, and let me pull up the story because we changed our main topic for this week because apparently, well, not apparently, this did happen today. The Athletic published a story today about the mess that is the New York Jets. And this is all you need to know. If you don't read the story, I suggest if you even if you don't have an athletic membership, I think you can. I think because it's through the New York Times, you can pay by article. I think, but here's the headline: Woody Johnson's Jets: colon Madden ratings, a lost season, and the most dysfunctional place imaginable. Sir, you and I both read the article today. We basically texted each other at the same time while we were reading it. There are 1,500 over 1,500 comments right now. By the way, um, your initial read after your initial reaction, I should say, after reading this long ass article from the Athletic today.
Well, my brother just clipped me something and sent it through me to a text message. So when I just saw that, I just sent him the shaking head emoji, like the face in the hand. That's what I sent him because this sounds about right. Because this is what happens when there's dysfunctional shit happening in an organization. And this is the stuff when owners stick their nose where it doesn't belong. Yeah, you could say he could stick his nose wherever because he owns the team. But this is what happens. There's a reason why they say owners just own the team and let the people
Yes,
you hire do your job. This is why this is the kind of stuff that happens. I can't defend this behavior if it's true. Of course, he's gonna probably come out and deny it. I don't think for one bit that this is a lie. I think all of it is fucking true.
I no,
And I
bro.
don't know why because I have no
I
proof of
agree.
that. I don't know,
No,
but I know no one in that building.
yeah,
But for some reason, because it's the just look at the timeline, how things happened.
yeah,
That's what's telling me that this stuff is true.
yeah. I just want to before you go on, I just want to read the first four graphs here because when I read this, I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Woody Johnson, this is the beginning of the story. Woody Johnson decided to do his own research. The New York Jets owner was at his house in Palm Beach, Florida, last February, discussing potential offseason acquisitions with team decision makers as they watched game tape. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, a former Denver Broncos first round pick, flashed on the screen. Jets general manager Joe Douglas expressed interest, according to someone familiar with the meeting. Johnson took out his phone and started typing. A few weeks later, Johnson and his Broncos counterpart, George Patton, were deep in negotiations for a trade that would have sent Judy to the Jets and given future Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers another potential dealmaker. The Broncos felt the deal was near. Then, abruptly, it all fell apart. In Denver's executive offices, they couldn't believe the reason why. Hold on to your, you know how the Jurassic Park? Hold on to your butts. Because this is ridiculous. Douglas told the Broncos that Johnson didn't want to make the trade because the owner felt Judy's player rating in Madden. Madden. Think about this. Madden, the popular video game, wasn't high enough. And this was according to multiple league sources. This is not just one person saying this. The Broncos ultimately traded the receiver to the Cleveland Browns. Last Sunday, Judy crossed the 1,000-yard receiving mark for the first time in his career in fucking Cleveland with those shit quarterbacks. Anyway, I digress. I
And now
and
with his, what is that? His grandson or his son?
I think
The-
the Brock and Brick and Brock
yeah,
frickin'
Brick
Frock.
and Brock, frickin' frack, sound like two dodo birds.
Go ahead, continue. Were you gonna say?
That's why I believe it, because he got that information from them. He's not playing Madden;
Yes.
they are.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's true,
Exactly.
so that's, oh my god, this is just the teams I go for. And if you're, and you can't change teams. I can't change teams like these new age kids do. I can't do that. I'm stuck with this shit.
Let me read the part about these idiots, Brick
Uh,
and Brock.
yeah, frickin' frack.
That's exactly what it is.
He,
So here,
his name is hood slang for cold. Fuck off.
yeah, for people who don't know, brick means
It-
cold in New York City.
it-
So here's the part with the kids, which is unbelievable, and I believe it. When Johnson left for the UK in 2007, don't forget he was the UK ambassador for Trump. His sons, Brick and Jack, so they were his sons, were 11 and 9, respectively. When he returned, they were teenagers. Last year, Johnson started including his sons in some meetings at the team facility.
oh my god.
For some Jets employees, the sons' increasing involvement clarified their father's propensity for sharing posts from X and articles from various outlets, including a blog called Jets X Factor, with the organization's top decision makers. Time out here. Do you know this blog by any chance?
I do not.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, the traffic probably just fucking exploded today.
No, yeah, definitely.
When we're so back to the so quote, when we're discussing things, you'll hear Woody cite something that Brick or Jack read online that's being weighed equally against whatever opinion someone else in the department has, said one Jets executive. And here's the quote: I answered to a teenager, Douglas quipped to people close to him before the season in an acknowledgement of the perceived power dynamic. What? This is I will
I've
say
never
this.
heard of anything like this before. That's why this is worse than
The
the
Wilpons, yes.
Wilpons.
Yes. Because at least what not Fred. What's the son's name? What was the son's name?
Dickhead.
Jesus Christ. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. You think we would know who the
Richard?
who, Jeff. It's Jeff
Yeah,
Wilpon.
Jeff.
At least, at the very least, at least Jeff Wilpon is an adult grown man. But you are letting, and I believe all this stuff. You're
Nah,
letting,
I believe this for some
yeah,
reason. Just the way
You
everything's panning out and all this stuff that's happening, I believe every single bit of this.
you are letting teenagers dictate personnel decisions is fucking wild. These kids don't even.
Know how to
They,
wipe their ass.
well, I was gonna go. They probably haven't even had sex yet, but that's where my mind was going. You're like,
Maybe maybe
what-
with some of their mom's friends because their mom got to be young. They're only
right?
like 18.
Yeah.
They're young, and Woody's what in his 60s,
I don't want to think. I don't want
maybe
to think about
older,
that. I don't want to. I just don't want to think about that.
because
Um.
mom's friends are probably closer to their age than their father's age.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. But it's just like I cannot think for the life of me any other situation in the time that I've been following sports that something like this has come to light. And here's the thing, too. If you read the story, which obviously you did, the spokesperson for the Jets, I mean, let me tell you something, guys. I'm going to tell you something right now. You might find it's hard to believe because I work in media relations. We lie. Okay. We lie. People who work in public relations, especially in that capacity that this guy does for the Jets, you lie to protect the organization. And it's said in the story, and we've heard this before, that Woody Johnson has a problem with the way the Jets are perceived in the media.
Oh yeah,
So, that being said, you're going to have they call media relations people spin doctors for a reason. You're going to have them come out and spin the situation and say, no, it's all bullshit. Listen, somebody like Michael Silver, who's been around for a very long time, he's a name. I trust people like him. I think all of the stuff in this story is true.
I look at it like this because all that stuff I don't know about. You guys lying like rugs. That's what y'all do.
Right. It's true though.
If someone tells me, if 10 different people tell me 15 different things as is what's happening in this story from sources inside that building and everything's relatively the same, everything can be a lie. That's
Right.
impossible.
Exactly. Right.
That means you're trying to tell me that all these people got together and just started saying these. That doesn't make sense to me.
And they conspired. They talked to each
Yeah,
other
it
and
doesn't.
said,
That
yeah,
doesn't make. That's not how. And there's a lot of people I saw that names were in there. That are a lot of credible people, like you're saying, that have been around for a long time. And if you've been around for a long time in this business that's cutthroat, you're probably good at what you do.
yeah, yeah.
And there's truths to what you have. So that to me doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like somebody like a Michael Silver, who, as we know, he was at Sports Illustrated for fucking years. He was like, when they came to NFL coverage, it was him and Peter King for a very long time. You don't think that motherfucker's connected?
Everyone knows Peter King too.
Right. Like, you don't think like somebody like Michael Silver's not connected? Come on, man. I don't think I don't I listen, I know journalists, they get a bad rap, especially in this town. I get that. But I don't think somebody like him, and obviously two other people wrote the story as
If you
well.
want to tell me everybody that wrote that story have been in the business maybe 3 years or less, then I could believe maybe your conspired story. I could believe that a little bit. But these guys, excuse me, been around for a long time. They don't need to do. What's the benefit to them if they all got together to conspire a story against Woody Johnson? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
They don't get anything out of that.
right.
Except, you know what they get out of that if they're doing that? They're not. No one's ever going to speak to them again.
No, I agree.
They're gonna be like, I'm not telling. I remember what happened last time. I'm not telling you shit this time. They're not gonna get anything from no one.
Yeah, I'm looking at this guy, Zach Rosenblatt. He's been around for a while.
Yeah,
He used
he's
to
been
cover
around. I know that name.
used to cover the Eagles, used to cover the Giants. And let me just see the other woman. It's Diana. I've heard that
Diana
name.
Rossini.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been around too. She sometimes does spots on FAN. She calls in. She has Jets, Giants stuff. Yeah, she's been around for a while.
Yeah. So these are like
Yeah, come on. These are not like little guys
these
that
are.
are just starting or women just starting. Come on, man.
She's from the Bronx, by the way.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part.
Yeah, she was born in the Bronx. Yeah. Um. Boy, I'll have to watch this video lately because she was on WFAN apparently today talking
Oh, she
about
was.
the
See,
story.
I didn't listen
Yeah.
to today's episode.
Yeah.
You see, I told you that what I told. That's me. I didn't even know that. I've just known she's been on the show before. So this probably came up. They
Yeah.
called her. She said, "Yeah, I'll get on." And they
Yeah.
and they, she gets on.
Here's my question for you. As I was thinking about this today, it was slow at work today, so I had some time to like read this and kind of like digest this stuff. Uh what is the solution here? Do you think?
There is no solution because he's the owner. So everybody get the shit out of your head because you know what you're going to say next. It's not going to happen. It's just going to get
What?
worse because if
Sell the
these two
team.
kids, these silver spoon fucks, he doesn't sell the team, they're gonna be the people in charge one day.
Right, exactly. That's the scary part.
Don't know anything about fucking work ethic, nothing. Like they're still putting your fucking father's baby powder in your pamper.
That's a good one.
Come on, bro. Like what are we talking about here? He's not doing any. How old is Woody Johnson? Is he in his late 60s?
I think he's in his 70s. Hold
In his
on.
70s?
Let me see. Yeah. Woody Johnson. He is 77. He's almost 80
So
years
he
old.
okay. Just
Jesus
read the tea
Christ.
leaves. What we're saying here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he gonna be.
What about that other story about Rodgers wanting to give the game ball to Ulbrich
That is
after they
awful,
beat the
bro.
Texans? That was their first win. Ulbrich's first win after they fired Salah.
Yep.
The kid jumps in and gives the ball to Garrett Wilson. Not that Garrett Wilson didn't have a great. That's when he made that incredible catch. You remember that?
Right.
But
Yes.
why is
Yes.
that
Yes.
kid
Yes.
in a grown man's locker room
Well, they
where
talked
this
about
guy's
that.
trying to have a
Yeah,
speech?
they talk about that in here. Yeah.
Where they're trying to have this man is trying to have a speech and trying to get things on. There was so many people that said that was so awkward. Like, how does that happen? How do you allow that?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the actual part here uh with that. But well, so before I get to that, I did think it was interesting that when the brother came in to run stuff, he took a step. He wasn't like
No,
Woody,
you're Christopher Johnson.
Christopher Johnson. So when Woody was being the ambassador to the UK for Trump, Christopher came in and was basically um, in the background. But there was just one part. I'll look at it. I'll tell you right now. So this is the part. It says, like Woody, Christopher Johnson was influenced perhaps too heavily by media coverage. One team source said he was known to lean on prominent media members for advice during his head coach and GM searches in 2019. This is when they brought in
Yeah,
Sal.
because remember
Yeah.
they bought this new crew and the team, whatever it's called, with Tannenbaum, and
Yes.
it's like a group.
Right.
They did this before,
The Bobs. As
and
they
they said, and what did they tell them to do? Go hire Todd Bowles. How did that work out?
right. Yeah.
They've tried this already. Oh my god, I want to
I just
cry.
I know. Dude. This is. I know you say they're not going to sell the team. I get that, but this does not change until there's new ownership. I mean, I don't know what to say because
I
it's
don't see it change. You think he's
right.
gonna
But
bring somebody
right,
in here and they're gonna say, listen, Woody, you need to let us do our job, meaning the GM and the guy I hire as a coach. He's not gonna do it. He's just not. He's meddling too much. And what you did just this year alone, doing what you did proves stay out of the stay at. Like I've always said, there's not too many owners that know the sport that of the team they own. They own the team because they have money.
right, exactly.
There's ins and outs to this. Are you really affording yourself to learn this, or you just want to, walk around with an iron fist because you have all the money and you own the team? That's what you're doing. It's the latter.
Yeah. I mean, the only person that could be, I'll give you two names, and one's a bad example because they suck right now. Jerry Jones. Say what you want.
Hmm? You don't hear him. You don't hear him meddling.
Well, because he's a GM, I think that's why.
No, that could be part of it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but think about how many if he don't really, I don't know if he, I shouldn't say he doesn't listen to the internet, but I'll say he's not influenced by it because how many people are calling for Mike McCarthy?
Right. And
He's letting
he's
him still
yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
You know, uh, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's
Yeah,
weird.
he is the president and general manager of the Jerry Jones. So, uh, the other person I will say, I think Steve Cohen knows his shit, and he gets involved when he has to get involved. So I will say that. And maybe you want somebody that's like a Steve Cohen that will get involved and step in when he needs to get involved. By the way, I don't know. I don't know if this was just somebody making this shit up or it was wishful thinking, putting out there that Jeff Bezos should buy
Oh yeah, the Jets.
the Jets. Was that a thing that was going around?
Somebody being a troll.
Can you imagine?
I've always said, you want to be that owner that micromanages and want us to be a helicopter mom? Then don't hire people. Do everything. Do it all.
Yeah, that's a good
Coach,
point.
GM, do everything. Do everything. Because what are you gonna? You just got this guy there just so you could just wave your magic wand and he does whatever the hell you want him to do. So what's the point? Do everything. Just think about this. And I'm not trying to defend Salah. He shouldn't have been fired at the time he was fired. That shit just went
I
downhill. The
agree.
defense got worse.
Yep, I agree.
Everything got worse. Okay. And guess
Yeah,
what, fans? That's what you wanted. So you can't talk about that. So take that off the table. But if you go around, it's talked about. Like I said, on radio, on TV, before the games, people have their opinion. Everybody says Salah should not have been fired. He's been he's a he's known as a good dude around the league. No one dislikes this guy. The same thing for Joe Douglas. He has a good name. Worked in Philly, worked in Baltimore, worked under some of the best people that have done this job. And you fire these two guys like they didn't have no idea what they were doing. You don't have anything. You don't have you. He doesn't have any idea. Meaning Woody.
right. Yeah.
You're named after your nicknames are Hard Richard.
Jesus Christ.
Get out of here, bro. Dude, go sell your baby oil to Diddy and baby powder. Get the fuck out of here, bro. This guy's a loser. He has nothing. He has no idea what's going on. None whatsoever. And this is gonna be another. I'm gonna drop dead, and the Jets are not gonna win any Super Bowl. I'll have fun with that.
Just because you're worth $3.4 billion doesn't mean shit at the end
Doesn't
of
mean
the day.
anything. It just means that you're worth a lot of money. That's what that means.
By nothing you did, by the way,
Come on,
since you're the
man.
heir to the throne. Oh boy. All right. Let's talk about the New York Football Giants because you know what I did on Sunday? I actually sat down and watched the
Excuse me.
majority of that game. Sir, come on.
What
Control
you want me
yourself.
to do, bro? I'm drinking some beer.
I actually sat down and watched that game on Sunday, and we joked around about whether was the point spread too much. What was it, 14 and a half, right? Oh, the Ravens covered that spread and
And then
and,
it wound
and
up going
heads
up
up.
right before the game
It did,
to 16 and a half, I think.
and they covered that as
And they
well.
covered it. They
Man,
covered both. It didn't matter.
man that team is just fucking garbage. And then the thing, I mean, what's insult to injury is, listen, DeVito is fucking terrible, right? We know that. But then you add insult to injury and fucking he gets a concussion and fucking Tim Boyle, who I totally forgot played at UConn.
No, yeah, yep.
Yeah. Comes in. He's 12 for 24 with 123 yards. He actually managed one touchdown and an interception. And Malik Neighbors somehow had 10 receptions in the game for 82 yards. As the Giants lose 35-14. And boy, oh boy, this team was just fucking hot garbage. And here's the thing, because I texted you this as we were watching the game, and I said to you, because there was that one touchdown in the beginning where the tackling was piss poor, the
Oh yeah,
coverage was,
the one down the right sideline.
yeah, I forget who it was. Let me just check the
I think it
box score real quick.
was it Bateman?
It was Bateman. Yeah, it was the 49-yard touchdown. 49-yard. It was a 49-yard pass from Lamar to Bateman. Okay, that to me, that's a fundamental problem with the way this team is coached. The fact that you're missing tackles the way you are, the fact that the guy caught the ball and it almost looks like you quit on the play. I just don't understand how the fuck both Dayball and Shane survived this season. Because I even heard after during this week some things that I've read online. Oh, there's no indication that there's going to be a change. How the fuck is that possible? I don't understand it.
because it's not their quarterback.
Let's talk about that because you talked about it this week, and there was at one point that I had the game on mute, but you heard the stuff, and but I've heard because I've seen this online too. I don't understand, and you can get into it some more because you're the neutral party in some ways. Why does this team, out of all the teams that I've ever rooted for in my life, there are so many excuses made for this management,
This is the part
and it
that's the part
boggles
I
my
was
mind.
texting you that
Yeah,
I don't understand because
yeah,
forget about the teams we root for. Knicks,
right,
Mets. Take that off the table. Let's just
yeah.
talk about football for a second. Hear me out. 32 teams. Let's just we're not a fan, we're just a fan of the Jets and the Giants, but let's put all 32. What coach, so no matter what it is, what coach survives a 2-15 season?
None that I know of.
Stop with the he's not our guy. But you know what happened? You chose to resign him. So guess what? Now he's your guy. And the same reasonings that you gave for him to win coach of the year, which was we didn't expect them to make the playoffs. Their roster stunk. They did this. So he won with that roster, right? They made the playoffs. They won around the playoffs, right? They won one round.
Right. Yes.
That's to the opposite of that's happening now. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It can't be both ways. Okay? When they talk about the Jets, when Robert Saleh got fired and everybody was mad, what they talked about? Undisciplined, too many penalties, lack of talent. He doesn't show emotion on the sideline, yada, yada, yada. The same thing is happening here. What does that have to do? Missing tackling, lack of this, lack of that. What does that have to do with your quarterback? That has to do with
Right.
you.
Yeah. Exactly.
And your little, and Carl's right, because that's exactly what I thought. His little fake rants now, it's all the show.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is.
Because you know what? I think he got mad when it was 3rd and 3. And I'm saying to myself, the way the formation was lined up, I said they're going to run the ball. I'm like, why are they running the ball? Throw the ball. So they picked up like a half a yard. And then what he does, no, they picked up like 2 yards. It's 4th and 1. What does he decide to do with Tommy DeVito? Quarterback sneak.
With
And
that
that's when he did.
guy.
And that's when he decides to do the little rant on the sideline. It's
Right.
your fault, dude.
You're the play caller.
You made a bullshit running play. You obvious to everybody that's watching the game that it was going to be a running play. And then you try to quick snap a QB sneak with Tommy DeVito. And then you're throwing your clipboard. He's saying to himself, you know what? I hate being skinny. I want to be fat again.
He was happier when he was fatter.
Oh, you know why? Because his cholesterol was up because he was eating what he wanted to eat. Now he's doing stupid Pilates with his wife and he's miserable. And he's about to be fired.
Holy shit, bro.
I mean, every excuse in the book.
It's
People on
crazy.
the radio, the it's injuries, injuries happen to everybody. That's not an excuse. That's not a fucking excuse. I'm still wondering. You know what? I'm still wondering that you brought up, and it's just obvious because we can see it. How the fuck are the Kansas City Chiefs 12-1?
Right.
How?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even with Mahomes behind the realm, he's doing dog shit too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Kelsey's having a dog shit year. They have no receivers. Their running backs have been injured. How are they 12-1?
Coaching, baby. They believe in the system. That's what it is.
But you guys, every excuse in the book. Listen, put everything aside. You're going to be 2-15 with the roster that Joe Shane put together. So how
Yeah.
you talking about lack of talent? You put that roster together. Brian Burns, let's give him the bag. What's he done? His sticky stuff don't work anymore. Spider-Man, he can't stick to the wall no more. What has he done? What has he
Oh,
done?
shit.
He's done
Exactly,
nothing.
man. Yeah.
And I'm not trying to go in the Giants. I'm not a fan. I'm just trying to look at it as from a football, a football fan aspect. I watched that game. I watched more of that game than I did the Jets game because I've had enough of them. But I just wanted to see Tommy DeVito see some. I just wanted to see something, man.
The Jets actually won that game, so
Yeah,
there you go.
it's just effort, lack of this, lack of. It's like no one wants to be on the field. Then they go back to Dable after he does his stupid stunts. He's just like looking around. Like you cannot convince me that this regime can come back. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, I don't see it either. And then you have people, so experts, and I mean, I can see it. I think we can see with our own eyes that this team is at least 2 to 3 years away from
I told
being a contender.
didn't I tell you that before? Remember
Right.
one of our first episodes? I told you. Think about it. If they keep this regime and they get rid of Jones like they want to do, they just did it earlier than we thought. You're
Hmm.
gonna bring in. You're gonna have a bad record, one or two pick, number one or two pick. You're gonna bring in a quarterback. You don't start him right away. You do things the right way. That's 1 year right there.
Right.
The second year, the kid will probably start, unless you do well with whoever you're bridging. He might come in half of the second year. That's 2 years right there.
Right.
The third year of that QB being with the Giants, whether he's on the bench or not, will be the deciding year. So that's 3 more years onto this year.
Right. No. Yeah. Yeah.
It's simple math. Do you guys as Giants fans have time for that?
Well, I think the question. I think no, I don't. I think the question becomes. I think that, well, this is the thing now. This is the question. The question becomes: does Mara trust Shane and Dayball to turn this around in 2 to 3 years, or knowing that you're probably going to have the first pick in the draft next year, at least top three? Do you get in a new regime to make these key decisions about a quarterback, about other positions going forward? That's the question right now. I think. I don't know. You tell
Quarterback
me.
whisperer, my ass. You know who's a quarterback whisperer? Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota.
Mm. Yeah.
People hated Sam Darnold while he was here. Get him out of here. He's not the guy. He goes to Carolina. I don't really remember what he did there, but he probably shit the bed because you know why? He wound up going to the 49ers. But you know what happened between that time, the 49ers, and when he signed the 1 year deal with Minnesota? You know what happened? He sat for 1 year
Mm.
with the 49ers and learned and watched and learned from Kyle Shanahan. Apparently one of the best offensive minds, right?
Right.
He learned. He came to Minnesota. Another apparently great offensive mind in O'Connell. Took over the reins after McCarthy got hurt. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Vikings are 12-2
And they're
with
tied with the
Sam Darnold
Lions.
starting all 14 games.
Tied with the Lions for first place.
I don't really have it like I don't really keep on being and make this a driving point, but it's a fact. So what's the Giants gonna do? What's gonna happen if the Giants bring this whoever they draft in here with the same shitty team that everybody's telling me that they have now? Do we think that guy's gonna develop? Do you think that?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
So what we're gonna do? Let's reset now. Another 5 years because we got to do it. We got to look for the next guy.
I mean,
Hamster wheel of turds. The
no, I
wheel goes
know,
round and round and round and round.
and I can understand Mara's hesitation because how many times are they going to keep doing this? Where it's a reset every 2 to 3 years. We go from fucking, what the fuck was his name?
You got
Uh,
the last three were before him were McAdoo,
McAdoo, Judge,
Shermer,
Shermer, and Judge.
then Judge.
Right. How many times are we going to keep doing this? And I get it.
I get
I
that too. It's
understand.
frustrating. You know what I think my real opinion is? I don't think everybody wants the next hot thing, what everyone talks about.
Right.
It's like with the quarterbacks, and Tiki Barber said it, which proved my point. The reason why Bo Nix wasn't drafted, everyone waited till until Denver picked him at 12 because he wasn't talked about.
Yeah.
What does that matter? If you believe in the guy as a team, as a GM, who cares what everybody else thinks about him?
Hmm.
Draft him. Draft who you want to draft. Not because he's the common thought. Who cares? You understand what I'm trying to say? So like it just and like you said about Mara, he can't be wanting to keep doing this. But remember, McAdoo was 11-5. Next year
Yeah.
he started 2-10. He got fired. They wasted no time. Shermer, same. He didn't have as a good a record the first year. Second year, see you later. Joe Judge, see you later. They didn't get an opportunity, but everybody now that that knows everything. Oh, but we knew they weren't like that. Dayball's different. How? Just look at the record. How's he different? You're saying he's different because hindsight tells you that. Hindsight's
Right.
always 2020. You didn't know that in the moment because there was a bunch of tweets that I found. Joe Judge, we finally found our guy. That guy sucked. And remember, and what did I tell you when they first hired him? You remember what I said? I said he
I
ain't the
do.
guy. Too much
I think
coach. Excuse me. Too much coach speak.
I think people thought he was the guy because of where he came from.
Because and that's all horseshit. Because guess
Yeah.
what? A lot of these coaches that came from the Belichick tree are failures. Minus
Mhm.
Vrabel, which is the guy I want. Look at it. Look at what's his name? The offensive coordinator. Shit. Patricia. Shit. Joe
Yeah.
Judge. Shit.
Charlie Weiss.
Shit.
That didn't work out at Notre Dame.
Romeo Cronell. Cromell. Shit.
He did? No.
No, he he just fat.
I was about to say. Oh my fucking god.
I don't think I was gonna. My point before was, I don't think as GMs and as a team effort when you're looking for a new GM and coach, everybody just listens to outside noise too much. Sit down collectively and take your time. There's no rush.
Yeah.
If you think that your next coach is a 70-plus-year-old man, but you all collectively think that this is going to work and why it's going to work, fuck it, hire him.
Right.
If you think the next guy you want is 35 years old, F it. If you think the next coach is a woman, you hire her. If you took your time and you did your homework, everything's so quick, man. Everybody wants to get rich so fast. But apparently it hasn't worked. Look how long the Jets have been bad for. That's my proof. So what you're trying to do doesn't work. That's why I always say the same teams are at the top of the draft every year for a reason.
Yeah, it's true.
Period. Stop.
Speaking of 71-year-olds,
Segue. Perfect segue.
there's one less one on the market right now because listen, you know what the funny thing about this whole thing is, and by the way, this is going to be our original lead topic because it was relevant for us because there's been a lot of chatter about Bill Belichick either going to the Jets or the Giants as a head coach. Here's the funny thing about this whole thing. Because, so for those who aren't aware, you should be by now, Bill Belichick is now the head coach for the UNC, University of North Carolina football program. They're calling it Chapel Bill. Get it?
Stop. That's
Chapel
just so
Bill.
stupid. Chapel
By the way,
D's.
one of my coworkers, she lives in Chapel Hill, and I told her this, and she was like, "Stop it."
Yeah, throw
So,
throw up emoji.
right, exactly. So I remember, I forget, this was like a couple of weeks ago when this started like percolating,
Simmering.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, this is fake. This is the onion,
That's what
right?
I. That's what. I
And
said, there's
I
no way
didn't
this
I
guy's
didn't
going to college.
and I didn't pay it any mind. And then when it actually fucking happened, I was like, what is happening here? So the reason I think this is relevant, there are two reasons. Obviously, Bill Belichick has ties to both the Giants and the Jets. We know that. Defensive coordinator for the Giants, and obviously famously was the Jets head coach for a day,
Leaving them at
and
the
then
altar.
yeah, wrote on a fucking napkin, I
And a
resign as
napkin. I
after a fucking
resign.
press conference. But here's the other thing. Supposedly, allegedly, reportedly, Belichick, despite him shitting on the Jets during the Manning cast every chance he got, he did reach out to the Jets about the head coaching job before he took the job at UNC. So the story was that supposedly he did reach out to them, before. There was never a formal interview, a meeting, or conversation. So basically, so the Athletic said no formal interview, meeting, or conversation took place, but his people did reach out to the Jets to see if there was a possibility that if they were looking to fill the position with him. I just and I wrote here in the notes. This whole thing is just odd to me for a couple of reasons, and I think people think that the only reason. Let's start with the first part of this. And I want to I want to hear what your opinion is on this, because some people think that he took this job because there wasn't a place for him in the NFL right now, and that he'll do this UNC job for a couple of years and then bolt for an NFL job when it becomes available. What do you think about that?
It's possible, but now you're just older. What the reason he gave is because his father used to play there or coach there or whatever.
He coached there,
Yeah,
yes,
I think
yes.
that's horseshit. I've never heard that until this happened. I heard people saying, "Oh, the Jets are idiots for not giving him an interview." Listen, guys, no, you're idiots. When was the last time a coach was hired and took over a franchise and he kept on with that franchise, signed a contract in the middle of December or November, whenever it happened?
It's weird. Yeah, that's not
Here's
gonna
the
happen.
thing. It can. They'll get in trouble by the league. If you fire your coach, you have to wait to the end of the year because what they have now implemented, the Rooney Rule.
The Rooney Rule, right?
You can't. They couldn't have just hired Bill Belichick off the tree and said, "Here's your team." It wouldn't have flown. It wouldn't have flown. That's not the way it works. They had to go through the process once the year ended. UNC was like, "Yo, we got to do recruiting. We got to do this. We got to do that." So he was pressure bust pipes. He was like, "You know what? I can't wait to the end of the year and take that chance." That's why I think it was all horseshit. I just think it because he knows how the NFL works. His team
Yeah,
knows how the NFL works. They wouldn't have been
yeah.
able to give him an interview and hire him now in December. He knows that. So that's why I just think it was bullshit. And like I said, North Carolina was like, Bill, hello, we need to recruit. You need to be in here now. The nil and this and that. He was forced and he took the job.
It seems like nobody thinks this is going to end well. By the way, everything that I have read about this, everybody thinks that this is going to end in fucking disaster, one way or the other. And here's the thing, and I made a note of this in the notes because I did want to bring this up. Bill Belichick is 72 years old. He will be 73 years old by the time the season starts because he turned 73 in April. Can you explain to me how a 73-year-old connects with somebody between 18 and 22? That's one thing. That's number one. Number two, I'm almost done with the Hulu series about Aaron Hernandez.
Jesus Christ, how long was that?
Like 10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. They do not portray Bill Belichick in a very good light. And I do believe it. It's almost like he has, and this is not, I'm not trying to say this as an insult. It's like he has autism in a way because he can only focus on winning, and that's all that fucking matters. So, how is Bill Belichick going to react when some 18-year-old kid comes to him and is upset because his fucking girlfriend broke up with him? Meantime, he couldn't handle a fucking psychopath like Aaron Hernandez. Like, I don't understand. I don't see how this is going to work.
Well,
You know what I mean?
now he has a secret weapon, and he just has to bring
Oh,
that secret
stop.
weapon into the room.
Stop. No, no, we're not doing this.
Oh,
We're
yes,
not
we
doing
are, because
this.
that's my
No,
answer. You asked
no,
me a
we're not
question, I'm giving you an answer. His girlfriend, who's
stop.
like 22 years old or whatever the heck she
Oh my
is.
fucking god.
It's so weird and so gross to me.
How old is she? Do we know how
I
old she
don't even
is?
know. I think she's in her 20s.
Hold on. Let me look up. Let me
I
look this up.
think.
It's funny because Google, it comes up right away. Bill Belichick girlfriend age, because I'm not the only one who looks this up. She's 24. Can you please tell me? Lee J is joking on his beer. Can you please tell me what a 72-year-old, 73-year-old has in common with a 24-year-old? Please. Please tell me.
Maybe she likes shriveled raisins.
God bless him.
No,
You know?
listen, I'm not hating.
Yeah.
I
Because
just,
I'm
I
like,
just, oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even. I'm trying to. I want to make sure I think before I speak.
yes, please,
I've grown and I've learned.
please.
I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, kudos to you, but how did that even happen? But okay, fine, whatever.
Hey, it gives me hope. I'll tell you that right now.
She probably walks him around their house like a dog or something. He wears a leash. She's like, F it.
He seems like the type of guy that would be into
I'm
that
not gonna
shit.
do any better with his stupid cutoff sleeve hoodie.
And I'm looking at this picture right now on Sports Illustrated with his fucking gut, and this chick is like hot as hell. Like, what is happening here? She's a beautiful woman. This is like, how the fuck did this happen?
You want me to tell you? They used to call me black in college. That was a long time ago, though.
Holy shit.
Like,
My
I don't know.
God.
Do I think it's gonna work? I don't think so.
Wait, what part is not gonna
Meaning
work?
the North
The
Carolina,
UNC.
the UNC. I don't think that's gonna hold those two. She's gonna have to. She's gonna have to be making funeral arrangements soon. Oh, she better hurry up and get married to that dude.
Holy shit. Like, is this chick gonna be happy fucking living in Chapel? I mean, come on, man. No disrespect to people who live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, but come on, man. What exactly is maybe she'll fit in there because it's a college town, you know? So I don't know. It's just this
It's
whole fucking
weird.
thing is just fucking
It's just
weird,
weird.
man. I tell you what though, I bet you the ratings for UNC football is gonna be doing well this year because people are
It's
gonna be
gonna.
curious.
They'll they'll be eyes. There'll be eyes on the team because of him. I think so. They'll probably get more televised games too because of him. 100%.
Yeah, yeah. And I
But
mean, yeah.
let's see what happens.
I mean, look, it's a different look, guys. It's a different world with college football now because of this whole nil thing. And we just saw what was it, Marshall? Was it Marshall that pulled out of their bowl game against Army because they don't have enough players to fill because
Oh yes.
of uh of the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, what the fuck is like happening here? It's a whole new world, guys. I mean, that's just kind of like the bottom line with college football. So I don't know. Maybe now players come to UNC, and if Bill competes for a national championship in a couple of years, maybe he can just say, "Hey, okay, I did my job, and I'm gonna move on." But to your point before about he's 72, turning 73, even if he does this for 2 years, somebody's gonna hire a 75-year-old football coach. Come on, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think that's in the cards. So
Just like this. What about this one kid?
the quarterback,
This is going back to the nil deals.
yes,
He went to BYU. He selected BYU, and everybody's like, "Why didn't he go to one of the
uh,
blue?" The basketball player.
yes,
Yeah, because he secured a $70 million deal with nil.
hmm
That's why he went to BYU.
yeah. It's like, wait, you're a fucking Mormon all of a sudden? Yeah,
Come on, man. All the schools were after him.
I hate this shit. I don't like it. No, I don't. I think it's stupid. What did they? What was it? Stanford hired Andrew Luck as like their
Andrew Luck.
GM.
Andrew Luck.
What, a GM in college sports? What the fuck are we doing here? Shit is stupid, dude. I'm telling you, I hate it. Listen, I will say one thing. I don't have a. Let me clarify this. I don't necessarily have a problem with the college students getting paid. I have a problem with the amount of money that is being thrown around.
They didn't figure out. They didn't figure out this on how to do it the right way.
They didn't. No,
And
they didn't.
I would have to admit, not every player should be paid the same because you can't.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
They just didn't. I don't
Absolutely.
think this was done the right way. It wasn't figured out the right way, and
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
We know
It's
why the
bad.
kid went to BYU. It ain't because that BYU is a great, outstanding college program, basketball wise. That's not why he
No,
went there.
it's
He
not.
got he got
Abs-
he got a good amount of money just in case it doesn't work out for him. Right off the rip.
and I can't imagine the Salt Lake City nightlife is anything to write home about. But don't come for us, motherfuckers, with your
Ay, ay, ay.
people with
Jesus
like
Christmas.
2 or 3 wives. It's okay. I'm not judging. Anyway, speaking of college football, so the playoff starts tomorrow. Indiana at Notre Dame. By the way, I texted this in the group chat. The cheapest ticket to get into Notre Dame Stadium, which I have been to once in my life, is $416.
That's cheap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. They're playing Indiana, which is, I don't know, Bloomington to South Bend is like, I don't know, a couple of hours. South Bend's in the northwest east part of the state, while Bloomington's in like the southwest part of the state. So
And
they're like,
Indiana apparently has a good college football team this year.
yeah. Well, shit, of course, because they're fucking in the playoff. Here's my question to you. By the way, before you answer this question, Saturday schedule, which is fucking insane. Where is it? I saved it on Instagram. Where is my? Here it is. Saturday. I keep on hearing feedback. Hopefully that's not coming through on the December 21st. There are 5 football games on Saturday. SMU at Penn State at noon. Then you've got the Texans at the Chiefs at 1. Clemson at Texas at 4. Steelers at Ravens at 4:30. And then the nightcap is Tennessee at Ohio State. Jesus Christ. That is the combination. There are going to be a lot of fucking drunk people out on Saturday. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, dude. So I guess my question. Let's back up, and we talked about this before. You said you're going to make the effort to either, at the very least, watch the Notre Dame game tomorrow. How much of this college football playoff do you think you'll be watching? Because this is something new, and we're not.
I watch as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah. I think because listen, guys, we don't talk about college football really on the show for obvious reasons because college football is just really not a thing here in New York City, in New York State, really. Syracuse fucking, they suck. Every once in a while, Rutgers will be good or Syracuse will be good, and UConn might be good. So you might get some rumblings here and there. And there are a lot of New York City, New York State, Notre Dame fans, me being one of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch on Friday. They play tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so that'll be like a cool thing to kind of watch. I don't know. It's the one thing I did notice the other day. As I was looking at the schedule, they're using like the bowl games as like semifinals and stuff like that, which I kind of think is cool. Like the Rose Bowl and the fucking
Mm-hmm.
Peach Bowl and all those bowls. So not only do you win those games, but you also win like those prestigious bowls. But I don't know. Saturday, I don't know. I feel like I might have to go out someplace to go watch some of these games because it just kind of seems like the natural thing to do.
Yeah,
So
Friday's game tomorrow I'll definitely record because I'll be working, and then I'll watch that Saturday morning sometime just so I can see how it all played out.
yeah,
And then Saturday before I go back to work, I'll probably try to watch as much as I can. And then Sunday, it's the NFL, so that's
yeah,
not going to be on,
yeah.
obviously. So I try to watch like I said, I'll try to watch as much as the college football as I can, and see what happens.
I want to see. FanDuel will sue some shit. The amount of bets that are made this weekend. I bet that's gonna be fucking insane.
Does New York State know what's happening with that money?
I'm not playing this game with you right now. Speaking of FanDuel, before we go on to our baseball part of the show, let's talk about some NFL picks for what are we in now? What week is
Who the
this?
hell knows? The season was over for me
50.
week 2.
Hold on, let me just make a note here. NFL picks. Oh, look at that at the exact hour mark. What week is this? Hold on. This is gonna bother me. By the way, this vodka that I'm drinking is like hitting me hard right now. Let's see if I can make it through the rest of the fucking show.
Do you know how
We
much?
are.
Do you know how much New York State made in the month of October
Uh,
on
I
online
don't.
sports gambling? Take
Let
one
me guess.
guess.
Okay, online sports gambling.
Just in the month of October,
Is it in? Is
it's
it
a
in
new
the bill?
record.
Is it in the billions?
Just answer the question, sir.
Come
You're
on.
not getting any fucking hints.
It's week 16, by the way. Um, I don't think it's in the billions. You said it's a record. I'm gonna say, fuck, 634 million.
Pretty nice, but you're wrong. 2.3 billion.
Holy shit! 2.3 billion.
2.3 billion.
Sir, can you tell me where that money's going?
And that's where we're gonna talk about our picks this week, ladies and gentlemen. Because he's trying to set me up, and we're not doing that.
Meantime, they want to fucking raise the fare to $3. Come on,
I know we're going off topic a little bit, but I want to do a little
that's
bit
fine.
of.
No, no,
I
no.
want to do
Yeah,
a
we
little
could.
bit of a therapy session here.
Yes,
Me and my coworkers also talk about this. Can you answer this question for me, sir? Are you ready?
yes. Go ahead.
You know, there's how do you call them? I'm playing stupid
Oh,
now,
is this a
guys. This
trivia? Are we playing
no, not
trivia
yet.
right now?
I'm
Oh,
being a
okay.
little sarcastic right now, but people don't
Okay.
know me, so I got to explain.
Okay.
Okay, you know when you cross the George Washington Bridge or the Highland Tunnel, what's that thing you have to pay? What's it called?
The Easy Pass.
It's a
Toll.
toll, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. How many tolls you think? I don't know this number, but how many tolls would you think there are? You have to pay entering or leaving New York. Quite a few, right?
I mean, there's got let's see, GW, Holland and Lincoln. That's three already. Verrazano's four.
Quite a few would say. You don't have
Yeah,
to
that's
name
like
them.
four or five. Yeah,
That are
yeah, yeah.
decently priced, right?
Yes, yes,
Would you say hundreds of thousands of cars come into this city every day from other
yes,
states?
yes. Absolutely.
What's happening with that money? I'm just curious.
No, I'm curious as well.
There's a lot of
Meantime,
resources in here coming, money wise, and I keep being told that there's no money. Meanwhile, I take a stroll from, let's say, after work. Me and my boy, we sometimes we like to walk to Grand Central. He takes the Metro North. Now I would be taking the six, and the city's flooded with tourists.
hmm
That you know what they're doing?
especially this time of the year.
They're
Yeah,
spending money.
yeah.
We talked about this the other day. I text you. I said, "What do you think it costs the average four-person family to come that they would have in their pocket, or the whole total package of a 7-day trip to New York City would
I think
be
they said it was like $10,000 to $15,000.
$10,000+.
Yeah,
The cheapest part of that trip is the flight, probably.
probably.
You got to pay for every meal. These hotels in New York City don't offer like kitchenettes and stuff like that.
hmm
They would be losing money.
Yeah, it's true.
10,000+ what?
Let's go to hotel tonight right now. Let's see how much a hotel is. Oh wow, you can get the Moxie for $97 right now.
That's pretty good. That's
Times
last minute.
Square. That's last minute. That's why. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see for tomorrow. Tomorrow checking out. No, Saturday checking out Sunday. 324 in Chelsea.
That
And
means
this
if
is
you
a
come further uptown or further, if you come more east, the prices will go up.
and this is a discount because you know what the regular price is for this hotel?
I
$509
was
a
about to
night.
say five something.
Yeah, yeah. 433, 449, 343. Grand Central is a hotel boutique, 331.
Ladies and gentlemen, open your eyes. You're being duped.
And don't forget, you got to pay hotel tax, tourism tax here in the city. So, but there's no money.
Oh boy.
All right, are we ready to do picks or what?
Yeah, we're ready to do picks. I'm done with this.
Okay. By the way, one thing we didn't mention, we should probably get into it a little bit right now because we didn't talk about this with the Giants. So, for those who aren't aware, Michael Penix is going to be starting for the Falcons on Sunday as his era now begins. We almost made it a whole season before he got in, and this is what Lee and I advocated for. But now the rumor mill has begun because listen, if you're telling me, and he would have to approve this, by the way, because he's got a no trade clause. You want to trade Cousins to the Giants and let Cousins be that guy to play for, do the same thing, right? For this,
Mm-hmm.
what he did in Atlanta, I will take that deal. What do you think?
I think
And
forget about that. You know what I want to happen on Sunday?
oh boy.
I want Michael Penix to light the Giants up. So that way the headline
Oh,
could be
I
like
see what you're
the
saying.
Giants
Yes.
passed up on this guy because that's what they're going to talk about after
Yeah.
one, and I'm going to love every minute of that because it's going to be like another nail in Dayball's coffin or Shane's
Yeah.
coffin.
You're right. You're right. I didn't think about it that
That's
way.
exactly what's going to happen. So for their sake, they better hope the guy shits the bed.
No, I don't want him to shit the bed because then they don't
No,
get
I want him to
eliminated.
light it up.
You know, so do
Light it
I.
up. Light it up, Lefty. Light it up.
Listen, I don't know. People are like talking about, oh, the Giants might actually win on Sunday. No, 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 no. No, they're not.
I don't believe that. I
No.
definitely don't believe that.
Listen,
You might have had a more chance if they would have won if Kirk Cousins was under center, but he's not because he's been terrible.
hmm
Throwing picks left and right. His arm strength don't even look the same. He looks like he's lost a step or two.
listen, I'm in full tank mode. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. I
Like
want
it doesn't matter.
I want them to lose in an embarrassing fashion because I want this motherfucker out of here.
Talking about this now. They probably win on Sunday. Fuck up their draft status.
Shut up.
Holy Christ. Here's my question. Real
Where do
quick.
they?
This is for another team. This is not a local team. I
Yes.
was thinking about this because I think the guy's not the answer, but everyone else does, so fine. I don't know anything. Do the Jaguars draft a quarterback if they have a chance to?
No, I don't think they do. You know
Okay.
why? Because I think that they still believe in Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Tell
What do
them to
you
call
think?
me. Tell them to call me in 2 years.
What do you think is going to happen?
I would draft a quarterback if I was them. If I had
Well,
one of the top two picks.
here's the thing. Right now, the Raiders are the number one pick.
No, I just
So
need a top two.
yeah.
Top three. Give me top three. I'm drafting
So
a quarterback if I was the Jaguars.
right now, it's the Raiders, the
Giants.
Giants, and the Patriots.
Okay.
Jaguars are number
I don't think the
4.
Patriots are going to draft a quarterback.
No,
They'll probably draft that Hunter kid, Travis Hunter.
Hunter. Oh, that won the Heisman.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was happening
It was
on
poorly. I don't watch ESPN anymore, but it wasn't televised. Marketed like it usually is. That
No, it
shit's all
wasn't.
over New York City, Times Square. You hear about it. You see it.
Yeah. Um. Oh, before we go on, just one thing. We're a little scatterbrained this week, which is fine.
That's fine.
This whole thing about people were like, "Oh, did you see Shador Sanders playing catch with Malik Neighbors in Times Square?"
Oh, in Times
Would
Square.
you stop? Would you people fucking stop it already?
You got to let people
Jesus
create these narratives. That's what they
Christ.
want to do.
That's exactly what it is. Dude, I am so over these fucking accounts on Instagram that are fucking jerking off to Cam Ward and Sanders. I'm sick of it. Stop. Oh, guess who the Giants picked in this latest mock draft? Shut the fuck up.
Who cares? They won't be picking anybody in the mock draft that they win the next 2 games.
That's exactly it. Oh my fucking God. I'm tired. This is the thing. This is what happens when your teams are run like shit and play like shit, and you're talking about a couple of guys fucking playing catch in Times Square. Come on, guys. I mean, what are we doing here? Holy fucking shit. All right. That's enough of this shit. Let's get
Now
the
we're going to really
picks.
do our picks. We're really going to do the picks now.
Yeah. As we see. I had them mark as an hour, and we're 10 minutes over that. Anyway, so the Giants are. Let's start with the Giants. Oh, I didn't.
Let's
realize
do the
Nets were
locals
playing.
first.
Yeah, the Nets are playing. They're starting with. We're saving the Nets for Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Anyway, man, 8.5. God damn. I'm actually going to take the Giants here
Jesus Christ.
because I think it'll be a close game, but I don't think the Falcons are going to win. So give me the Giants at plus 8.5.
Yeah, I'm not taking the Giants. Give me the Falcons at minus 8.5. I don't. No, ain't happening.
All
On to
right.
the
So
next.
Rams at Jets in the Meadowlands at that shitty stadium. Uh I will take the Rams at -3 against
Agree.
the
I'm
Jets.
going with
We
the Rams
already
-3.
we already know where you're going with
Yep.
that. So, all right. Do you know your next pick
I know I
already?
got my next three. I did it at the beginning when we were talking. I went through it real quick. So my next pick will be
You go next because I'm
yeah.
still
Um
looking.
Denver
Oh, I
Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers.
you mean that's tonight's game?
Yeah, that's what I'm picking. I don't like
Okay.
the other games. I'm picking with tonight's game because I have faith in this game. We don't usually do this, but I'm gonna do this one. I don't know why. I have a lot of faith in this Denver team. I don't know why. I like what
Hmm.
they're doing. Their defense, Bo Nix. I've always been a fan of his. I'm picking tonight's game. I don't care. Give me Denver plus 2.5.
All right. I am gonna go with my third game, and I am going to go to Baltimore, and I am going to take the Steelers at +6.5. I don't know. I always feel like that these games are. By the
Seven
way,
to
by the
three,
way,
10-7.
yes, that's why. Yeah. By the way, I want to pat myself on the back right now for taking the Bills in that game. By the way, just thank you.
We don't know that
So
for sure. That's not really recorded anywhere.
no, against the Lions, yeah, they will because I picked that game. So
I
fuck
don't. I
off.
don't remember that, guys.
Wait, was that the Lions? Yeah, that was a Lions game. Yeah.
We
Anyway,
don't. We don't remember that.
on
Myself or
on
the
the road,
audience.
on the road. By the way, anyway, go Bills. Uh, yes. So Steelers 6.5 with the points against the Ravens. I don't know, man. The Ravens are just. I don't know, man. Uh, they seem to they took a while to get going against the Giants
They
on
beat bad
Sunday.
teams, like I said.
Yeah, so I don't that team is not going
I don't
anywhere.
have faith in them.
No, this
They'll
guy's
they'll
great.
they'll flame out.
He's a great fucking player, but it's just like I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm going the same. Give me Pittsburgh plus 6.5.
Oh wow. Okay. So that was your pick number
Yeah, I got
4.
one more pick. I'll say it while you're looking over there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go to Carolina. Give me the Arizona Cardinals at -4.5. I think they'll cover that number against the Panthers. Even though the Panthers have been playing better, a lot better actually,
Mm.
I still think the Cardinals will win that game, and they'll score more than 4.5.
Man, there are some fucking shit games this week.
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't want to take too much time thinking because that's like what you just said. So I just went
So
with what I saw and I
yeah,
picked it.
so you did all your teams already,
That's
right?
it. I'm done
Yeah.
here.
So I'll do my next two games. I will take the Vikings
You only
at
got one more.
minus
That's it. Just pick one more,
oh Vikings at -3 over the Seahawks. So
and that's that.
that's that. All right. No halftime topic, topic this week, guys. Let's jump into one of our favorite topics. Well, not really. But listen, I will say this. I got some dust on my keyboard. Our Juan Soto episode, our last two episodes with, we had mentioned Juan Soto in the title. They did pretty well. So I don't know. People like to listen to us talk about Juan Soto. So let's start with the Yankees first. Kind of the aftermath of the Juan Soto deal. Obviously, they signed Max Fried to that large contract. Whether that was a smart thing or not, we'll see how that plays out. But then last Friday, so the Yankees have done two trades in that time. Last Friday, they acquire Devin Williams in exchange for Nestor Cortez, an infield prospect by the name of Caleb Dorbin, and a reported $2 million in cash. So you think that maybe the Yankees have, solved their problem at closer, because obviously we know that was a little shaky between Holmes in the beginning, and then they kind of piece things together for the rest of the season. So the Yankees were also involved in talks to acquire Kyle Tucker from the Astros, but he ends up getting traded to the Cubs. But then the Yankees turn around and trade with the Cubs for Cody Bellinger. So you have that now. And then both the Mets and the Yankees lost out to Garrett Crochet as he gets traded to the Red Sox for a bunch of prospects. So, sir, what do you? Because we're not supposed to care about the Yankees' moves because we're Mets fans.
Yeah, fuck off. Like I told you last week, they think, and it's not everyone. So everyone that's going to listen to this is not all you. You guys know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, you comment on our thing, whatever. I take every comment as a positive. No comment and no publicity is a negative to me. So thank you. You know who you are. With that being said, is
Wait a
guys
minute.
like that guy that commented on our reel.
Okay, did you know I was about that? Did you know that dude or no?
I didn't know that dude, but he
Okay,
didn't know
okay.
me. But
Yeah, yeah,
listen,
yeah.
anything to, because listen, you might be giving me a compliment because you think by the way I look, it's not possible to have seen my team win, but I did.
Right. Yeah.
I was almost 10 when the Mets won, and I remember that shit clearly. So my team won, buddy. Thank you very much. So that's where you're first wrong. But it's okay. I still love you. Number two is people like him that tell us Mets fans when we're allowed to celebrate.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
don't talk about my team. Listen, like I told you last episode, you guys were rubbing it in my face before Soto even decided who he was going to go to. And he's not going over there. Why would he go there? And just kept on. So now that we have an opinion on the people you traded for, signed for, now it's worry about my team. Kiss my ass. I have an opinion. If you think the combination of those three players is better than having Juan Soto, refresh my memory. Did the Yankees make it to the World Series this year? Lost or not, did they make it to the World Series last year? With who?
They did with Juan Soto.
When was the last time they made it to the World Series with their savior, Aaron Judge?
Yeah. Never happened.
Period. Stop. So until these guys, excuse 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Gracias. The beautiful Melissa gave me another beer. So until these guys prove that, nothing's better than Juan Soto. So if you say that, you're a donkey.
Donkey. Oh my God.
It doesn't make sense to me. Granted, they didn't win, but also remember, you haven't made it since 2009, and you made it with him.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no combination or any trio of players that's going to be better than him. So, but don't tell me when to celebrate, because I'm going to celebrate when I want. I'm going to have an opinion on who you sign, just like all of a sudden you have an opinion on Soto coming here and you're mad. Thank God we didn't sign him. Stop it, because if he would have accepted an offer for $760 and he was a Yankee, you guys would have all been praising Jesus or whoever you praise. Hallelujah.
Dude, the aftermath, it continues, man. The shit that I'm seeing on social media, this was kind of the latest thing. And I know you saw this. Listen, Soto had a bit of a gut at the press conference, right? I mean, let's be fair. He did have a bit of a gut. Guys, it's the off season. You think these guys are working out the way they do, like during the season and in spring training? That guy can get rid of his gut like this. You and I can't do that.
But I
It
also
takes
would
us.
say that day he celebrated when he signed the contract. What was he in some
It's
house or
some.
something in
Yeah,
California? His brother was dumping champagne on him.
yeah.
He came out that pool. He had a body I was jealous of.
Right,
He had
exactly.
traps and triceps. He had a
Yeah,
chest. I didn't
exactly.
notice a gut there.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe, you know
yeah.
what? The night before the morning, he just had a nice big steak and his
Exactly.
belly got a little swollen.
To celebrate, right?
Who
Yeah.
cares?
You
Just
see
pick
these,
anything out of the air to talk about it.
dude. It's unbelievable.
Just to
The
make
the
fun of us, the Met fan. It's okay. It's fine.
all the reels that I'm seeing about Soto's miscues in right field. All
Yeah.
of a sudden, that's come out of nowhere.
Just
His
show me
defense
Pete
sucks.
Alonso's home run against Devin Williams, please. Just show me that. That's the
That's
only one
been
I
out
want to
there.
see.
That's been out there.
That's the only one I want to see. You don't show me that though. Come on, bro. Stop.
Well, listen, I will give the Yankees credit for one thing because they have moved on. Like they had a
They
plan
moved
B.
on and they
Yeah.
picked up, is the word formidable?
Yes. Formidable.
Players. They're
Yes,
good
they did.
players. I'm not gonna say they're bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, and you're gonna get a little backlash from me because I like the smoke. I love all the smoke. Don't sit up here and tell me when I can celebrate or tell me mind my business when you're not minding your business. You don't control that part. You guys picked up some nice players. Let's see what happens. Bellinger's numbers was down last year too, comparable to his years before. He only hit 18 home runs last year. Would he hit more? Probably because Yankee Stadium's a little league park. At least right field is. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Right field was bigger in the tanks in Greenpoint Little League. Shout out Greenpoint Little League baseball.
So by the way, let's so last year, Bellinger 18 home runs, 78 RBIs. That is down from his previous year where he hit 26 home runs and 97 RBIs. He has not even he has never come close to the year he had in 2019
When he was the
where he
MVP,
had
no?
he was
Was
yes, he
he had
was the
like 40
MVP.
something, maybe 40 homers or something like
He
that?
had 47 home runs, 115 RBIs. He hit 305, on base percentage of .406. His WAR was 8.6. He led the league in total bases with 351. He has not come close to that.
And don't get me wrong, Cody Bell, he's a good player. I wouldn't have mind if the Mets picked him up
Sure, yes.
because he's
Yes.
also versatile.
Yeah,
He
he
could play
is.
different positions, but his numbers are down. That's a fact. You could see that.
Yeah.
I think his numbers will go up, whether it's a small park, whatever. I'm joking around because I want some heat. It's okay,
Right.
but his numbers I feel are going to go up in Yankee Stadium.
They
I
probably
think,
will. They probably will.
especially where they put him in the batting order, who's behind him and who's in front of him.
Yeah.
So based off of that too, I think I see him at least doing again what he did in 2000, the year before this last year. What did you say, 26?
He had 26 home
And how
runs,
many RBIs did he have?
97.
I would say something like that
And
with the Yankees.
he hit
Maybe a little
30.
less RBIs, but around the same home runs,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, he'll probably have I, I would be shocked if he doesn't have at least 30 home runs in that ballpark.
Yeah, 26 to 30. I could go with that. I could go with that. 26 to 30. I could go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 88 RBIs, something like that.
I mean, it was also sorry, I got ice in my mouth. It was his best season average wise into 2023. He hit 307 as well. I know batting average is like fuck you, it still counts to me. So,
And I think Freed's got
um,
to stay healthy. He's been hurt the last part of
yeah,
the last couple of years.
yeah.
So let's see what happens.
I mean, he's only 29 years old.
Yeah, he's still
You
he's
know,
still he's still relatively young according to baseball age. But
so
let's see what happens.
the one thing that I do want to talk about is this Garrett Crochet thing because
Excuse
the
me.
Mets and the Yankees both lost out on him, and he ends up going to the Red Sox. And you and I started talking, and you made a good point about how you think that Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns the White Sox,
Hate Steve Cohen.
hates Steve Cohen and did not want to do business with the Mets. So they were like, "Fuck it, we're not giving." Because I looked at the prospects at the Red Sox. Listen, we talk about
They were
prospects.
saying that any prospect we had was better than what they offered them or what
Yes,
they accepted.
yes, right, yeah, yeah.
So that was my
So
point. And he was one of the ones, like I told you, one of the two owners that voted against Cohen buying the Mets
right,
because he
yes,
thought it would be bad for baseball
right,
or whatever else feelings he had. We wouldn't know if they were personal.
right. Yeah, yeah. I
So that's how I started looking at things.
yeah.
So it is what it is. Ryan Dawes a fuck. Fuck him.
Bro, I'm telling you, Chicago hates that motherfucker.
Miserable fuck.
I mean, there's a reason why Michael Jordan has disassociated himself with that fucking with the Bulls. So take that for what it's worth.
Yep, take it for what it's worth.
All right. Let's round out this show talking about the Mets because um, they have been very quiet since they signed Soto. And I'm starting to get a little worried. And let's also say that signing Griffin Canning, some guy out of a fucking Harry Potter movie, that's what his name sounds like. Gryffindor. That's exactly what it sounds like. But this
Don't
guy,
mind him. Don't mind him, ladies and gentlemen. He's geeking off right now.
bro, this guy is gonna compete for a fucking starting job,
See, this is the
rotation
part I
job.
told you I didn't like, and you told me not to worry. So right now, I'm still not worried. I'm still going with what you said, but this is the part I was worried about.
No,
And I
now I'm worried.
think, and I think Stearns is talking a little bit too much and trying to convince people too much that this is the way with the starting pitching. Listen, guys, I don't mind if the bottom of rotation was built this way. Anywhere, even I'll go as high as the number 3 starter to the number 5. If you want to put it together this way, I'm actually okay with that. But I believe that every starting rotation needs an A plus and then an A guy. At the least, a B plus guy. The Mets don't have that right now. Don't even tell me Kodai Senga. I don't want to hear that.
No, no,
This
no,
guy's
no.
injury. No, not
I
meaning
know.
you, meaning
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people, fans, whatever. He's
Yes.
injury prone. He's not that guy. I haven't seen it yet. We don't have that yet. What the fuck are we doing here?
Let's this is the rotation as it stands right
Oh
now.
God.
I know this is bad. Kodai Senga, Frankie Montez,
Yep.
David Peterson,
Yep.
and Clay Holmes.
Yep.
And vying for the 5th spot is Canning, Harry Potter, Tyler McGill, and Paul Blackburn.
Come on, man. What are we doing here?
And apparently the Mets are not even sniffing Corbin at this point.
No, they're not.
That
They're
I
not
know
going to
that.
sign him. They're not going to get him.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like he's going to go to like Boston or something.
yeah. So here, and we talked about Castillo in Seattle, and that's going to cost the Mets.
At least a prospect. I'm fine with that.
Oh
Because I
yeah,
told
it
you, I
will.
mentioned that. Because you asked me, what
Yeah.
do they do? What should you, what, you asked me, so then who's out there that you would go for? Remember, I told you Castillo, and then it was next day it
Yes.
was on Instagram. Not because of me, but it was just happened to be on Instagram the
Right.
next day because I
Well,
thought that's who they should go after.
it's logical, and you're gonna have to give up the thing that was floated by was Drew Gilbert. You're gonna have to give up a major prospect to get that guy. Because what is Castillo? Let's see. I
I
just want
mean,
to see how
his
old he
numbers aren't great, but he's one of those pitchers that is good, but he never pitches for the right team that provides support for him.
Yeah,
So his numbers don't always look the greatest.
he's 32. I know that the Mets have been in contact with Mania. So listen, guys, January 1st is like 2 weeks away. So like I think there's still a lot of shit that's gonna happen between now and uh spring training starts at mid-February. So there's a lot still to happen. So let's see, Castillo. Let's see. Last year he was 11 and 12, 3 point. He's had respect. His career ERA is 3.56.
He hasn't always pitched on the best teams. That's been his problem. He came from the Pirates, went to the Mariners. They
He,
haven't always had the best
he went to
teams.
the Reds. He was on the
I
Reds.
mean, the Reds. Sorry, the Reds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in the right division, wrong team.
Yeah.
He's always been a victim of that. But I've always thought he had good stuff. I always thought he was a good pitcher. 32 years old, probably past your prime, as they say. But if you trade for him, I think he has a couple more years left on his contract. He could slide into that number 2 slot
Yeah. I think so.
and go
And
from there with a better hitting lineup. His numbers will be better in the win-loss column. If he keeps that ERA, should be good, respectable. I don't know. I just don't these people that they're signing. I don't. And the longer it takes with Mania, I don't think they're going to sign him. because I don't know unless I haven't really heard about him unless his asking price is too high. Because I think Boris his agent too.
I don't think so. Let me see. I don't believe it is. The other thing too that's good about Castillo, just looking at his stats,
He's durable,
yes, he is very durable. He's the guy that'll give you 30 starts.
which is
Yeah,
good.
Manaya is. I mean, Boris is a Manaya's
And there you
agent.
go.
Yeah.
Which God knows what number he's asking for.
Ugh, I
He's
hate that
like,
fucking
yeah,
guy.
5 years, 250. I want give us what Freed got. No, come on, dude, fuck off.
Not at 32 years old.
No way, no way. Get out of here. What are you smoking crack?
Yeah. It's
Come on, man. That guy's off his rocker.
yeah. I mean, I think we're being real and realistic from the standpoint of if you could look at the division right now, right? I still think the Phillies are still the best team in the division, even that the Mets have Soto. You're looking at pitching wise, and again, the other thing I keep on saying, who the fuck is going to hit in front of Soto? Which brings us to our next question situation. Pete Alonso. Supposedly, apparently, reportedly, the market is not developing right now for him, which I don't think is surprising. I think a lot of teams have questions about him, especially based off of, people don't think he had a great year last year, but he's a guy that usually gives you 40 home runs a year.
But to me,
But
that's not fair because you're comparing his years now as he's getting a little older to the other years.
I
You
know,
expect him to keep that up throughout his whole career? That's foolish. Even at a down year, he put up good numbers.
yes, right.
At least
Yeah,
that would beg for a decent contract. At
yeah,
least 25 per
yeah.
on the right team, which I think this Mets team is the right team for him, the way they're building it. So that part to me makes no sense, man. Like all of a sudden, he's just like, he's not worth what he's been doing. That doesn't make sense to me. He's been durable. He plays every fucking game, man. He hits home runs. He had a down year. So what, man? So what? He's. I saw one thing today. It's because he's a right-handed batter and a right-handed first
I
baseman.
saw that too.
What?
Yes, yeah,
Who saved Lindor's ass many times from errors and a bunch of other people.
yes.
Come on, like how's that even a read? That doesn't even make sense.
It's weird.
This is I've never this is weird because I feel like somebody like him that's done the numbers even with the down year would have had a contract already.
Dude, if this was the 90s, he would have had a
He would have had a
contract
contract
already.
already.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
if you don't think his numbers would be better with Soto hitting in front of him or behind him, I think you're bugging.
Mm-hmm. I
I think
agree.
you're out of your mind.
Do you think 6 years at 185 million? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, that comes out to about 30 plus a year. I would give that to him. I'm on Alonso. I've also said with Alonso, since he's been on the Mets, who's protected Alonso in the lineup?
Nobody.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you. My speaker was
Uh
fucked up.
nobody?
Oh, nobody. Interesting. And you guys are harping on this 1 year. Hmm. But everyone who wants to give all the accolades to everybody else. Come on, man.
Acolytes. This is not
Yeah,
WWF.
accolades to everyone else. So, one too many little, what's this here? 6.5?
Acolytes. Holy shit. Bradshaw and Farouk. That was the acolytes.
Yes, yes, I remember. I just
Holy shit.
it's this whole Alonso situation is weird to me.
It is weird. It's all over the place. You do a search for Pete Alonso on Google News. Why the Mets superstar hasn't landed a new contract yet? Where will Pete Alonso end up? Teams hesitant to offer Pete Alonso a long-term deal. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
It's
fucking
weird.
weird. One thing I did see floating around about the Astros coming in to sign him. So who knows? Who the
I
fuck
don't want to seem
knows?
Lee, but I'm still standing firm that somebody's going to come in here offer him at least 25 per, and he's gonna leave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they said so during the when was the because the Soto press conference happened after we recorded, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously, Pete Alonso's name naturally came up when they were, doing interviews at City Field, and Stern said that they were still in contact with Alonso. So they're still having conversations. So, and obviously, you got the fucking agents right there in the room with you. So, I don't know, man. I hope, and don't forget Christian Walker's still available. He hasn't been signed yet either.
Yeah, but I'm seeing numbers about him thrown out there that's wild to me. And
Yeah,
he had a couple good years and he's older.
yeah.
That's the weird part to me. And people are gonna be willing to pay him that money with no questions asked. That's fucking weird. Alonso crushes him.
I, you want to know? You know what I think? I think it's because of the defense.
But his
Because
defense isn't even that
I know,
bad.
I know,
People
I know,
people
I
just come
know.
up with these stupid things, these stupid analytical things that think they make sense. Like I told you, that one example I had, whatever episode that was, they were playing the Rockies and they grouped it into whatever analytical category they did. And they said if he was a better first baseman, he would have never went all the way into the second base hole to get that grounder. Like I said before, if you watch the game, the second baseman was behind this. They had because you can't do the shift anymore. But so as
Yeah,
far as you go is
right.
the second base. So the
Hmm.
second baseman was as far as he could go. He would have never made that play. So by doing that, Alonso prevented it from going into the outfield, which prevented a run. That
Right.
matters in baseball, you doofuses.
It does. Yeah.
That matters. But they
Doofus.
said no, he read it wrong. He shouldn't have gone that far. What? Preventing runs matters because of a play you made.
And that's an analytical stat now. Runs.
Like,
Yeah.
like what? Go back and watch. It may be boring, whatever. Go back and watch every game he's played on defense this year. Yes, does he look a little like doofy, a little.
He does. He's not athletic.
Yes, but
He's not
that goes to
athletic.
him not being athletic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? That guy stretches. He makes good plays. He picks scoops. To me, whatever the term is, he's like one of the best scoopers of the ball.
Well, it's funny you say that because I texted you this. I was watching baseball tonight one night, and who the fuck was on it? Was it Sean
Oh yes,
Casey?
Sean Casey.
Was Sean Casey
Yeah,
was yeah. And he went back and he said Alonso, and there's a stat for this, believe it or not. He had the highest amount of like scoops at first base this past year.
and there's scoops that matter because they equal to outs.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So guess what?
So,
If you don't have someone doing that, guess what? The person's safe. That's an error on the whoever threw the ball. It's not an error. Once the ball goes into the dirt, if Alonso can't scoop it, that's not his error.
right, that's the
That's the
fielder's
person who
error.
threw the ball's
Yeah,
error.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And we saw Lindor make a lot of those throws this
This is
year.
what I'm saying.
So,
This is not to bash on Lindor because they're all on the Mets. I go for everyone, but
right.
the heat that Alonso takes at first base because he looks a little clumsy or he's a little doofy or he's a less athletic than someone else is unfair. It's unfair.
I agree with that.
It's unfair. I'm not saying he's Keith Hernandez either. That's not what I'm saying. But the heat
Right.
that he takes is unfair. I'm
It's
sorry,
odd.
man.
It's odd. It's odd.
I watch a lot of Met games, and the shit that you guys talk about, I don't see. I don't see. It's like you want to use his clumsiness against him, even though he's still making the play.
Hmm.
That's what's weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
If you get the job done, what does everything else matter? But it feels like everything else matters more than him actually making the play, which is the weird part to me.
Right.
Because that's what they're trying to use against him. But it's not true. But I don't know shit.
We're dummies. What do you think? What I mean? What else is there to say? One more thing I will say we can bring up about this whole thing with the Mets is Starling Marte, and this is like almost 2 weeks old now because they were saying how they would be willing to pay for part of his contract in a trade, But my question is, who the fuck is trading for
Even if you pay,
Starling
you would have to pay.
Marte?
You would have to pay for his whole contract.
Yeah,
For somebody to say, "All right, we'll take a chance. We'll give you like some kind of C-level prospect,
yeah,
and we'll see how he
exactly.
works out with us."
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
washed, man. He's done. When they signed him, I didn't think it was he had a good year, but before they got him, he was always injury prone. I don't know. I don't know. That's the only way you're gonna get
I
rid of him.
I mean, could he go to a team like the fucking Marlins or something? You know, where he played it for the
I think he
Marlins
played there
previously, right?
too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, have a veteran presence, and
He
you
would
know,
work out if he was. He can't be. He's not an everyday player anymore. That's
no,
number
he's
one.
not. He's absolutely
He's
not.
got to be a spot starter. Give some relief to
DH.
to
Yeah,
the right fielder, left fielder. Play some DH. You know, like I said, a couple starts here and there. That's who he is right now in his career. He's not a starter. He's not a right fielder either. So forget about that.
well, I mean, he's not going to play right field because of Soto, but
So, but just me in general, he's just not a right fielder.
yeah, I mean,
Period.
but the fact that he's projected to be the fucking DH right now is fucking
Yeah, that's
laughable.
off. That's just
Like, what are we
ugh.
doing?
What are we doing? He is correct.
I'm curious before we go. So apparently Acuna is like killing it in the Winter League right now, and he's been playing. What did they say? He's been playing center field, shortstop, and second base. I just like they have to find
They
a
have
way
to
to put
find
him
a
out
way
of
to put
play.
this guy in. He has to be in. He has to be part of the you know, the starting whatever on
Yeah,
opening day.
yeah, I agree.
Because every year it's the same thing. He's killing this. He's killing that. Okay, then why is he starting in AAA? Bring him up.
Yeah,
He showed me enough at the end of last year in the games that he played that he deserves a shot.
yeah. That is one guy you don't trade right now. I'm just gonna put it at that. I don't.
He
You want
I
to trade
probably
these other
wouldn't trade him.
guy?
I probably wouldn't trade him either.
Yeah,
But if you were to get somebody like Castillo or somebody else, I would rather them even Gilbert. The only reason why I say that is because he's an outfielder. I think they have a plethora of infielders. I would
yeah,
rather
they
them get
do.
rid of one of those guys as opposed to Gilbert, who's an outfielder. But I'm willing to get rid of Gilbert, not Acuna. To your
But
point,
Acuna can play all over the place, which
yes,
I like. Which is why I feel like you keep him. You know, because if even if he doesn't start the season on the major league roster, which would be a fucking ridiculous. You think McNeil's gonna make it through a whole season again, or Marte, or
they can't. They
somebody?
can't. They can't make the same mistake, and it didn't wind up being a mistake. Well, kind of a mistake, half and half. They can't do the same thing with Acuna that they did with Vientos. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. Yeah,
Because you miss out on a lot of those wins or a lot of the numbers that they produced at the beginning to the middle of the year because you waited too fucking long.
yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean this all season's not done yet. There's still a lot can happen
But
between
Mr.
now.
Hernandez wants you all to get a move on.
Yeah, because I'm getting impatient now. Now I'm getting impatient, and everybody knows how impatient I am. Now I'm like,
He's a
what the
neurotic
fuck?
fuck.
Yeah,
He's very
no,
impatient.
yeah.
Get a
I'm
move on.
impatient. I'm fucking neurotic. I think people are out to get me at my job. Anyway, let me
He's a
shut up.
fucking sausage.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for us this week for episode number 27. Don't forget, we will be back to you on the 26th. And yeah, man, listen, for those who celebrate, I'm gonna fucking say it. Merry fucking Christmas. I'm not gonna say happy holidays. Fuck that shit.
Fuck that holiday and that fat fuck.
That's right. I forget that Legion doesn't like Christmas.
I hope he loses his bags of gifts.
That's not
I
nice.
won't say what I really want to say because there's probably maybe there's kids listen. Who knows? So I'm not going to say that part. But I hope you lose all your presents.
I know what you want to say.
Yes.
Piece of shit. You gotta believe. That's all I'll say.
There you go. He read between the lines.
And on that note, I'm Will Hernandez here for Mr. Lee J. Perilla, and we will see you next week. Peace out.
Later.